guys, welcome to Clockwork and Noodles. Happy Christmas Eve, my family. It's nice to see you here on the channel and I hope you guys are having a fantastic festive period. Thank you for tuning in for the final episode of Spike's Family. This is season 1 done. There has been some fantastic news for us, however. We are getting a movie and a season 2, which is fantastic. It's going to be another split core. I am going to be going to the cinema to see the movie dressed as Your Forger, because why the hell not? If I can't go and wear Your Forger to a Spy X movie, I'm doing cosplay thing wrong. But I am very excited to break down the final episode of you guys, give you my final thoughts of the season as a whole. And this is a very important episode. I think this might have been the most important episode because this is what it's all about. This is what it's all come down to. This is why we've got a fake family in the first place. This is the episode where we get to see the man in the middle of everything. If you're not subscribed, please do. You've got my top 3 anime of the season coming out next week. I finally got to put my pen to paper and pick 3 anime that I really enjoyed this season. I will also be doing some fun little awards as well, so make sure you don't miss out on that. Winter 2023 breakdown is already out, so go check out what I'm breaking down on the channel. I really do hope to see you more next season. And as well, if you are new to the channel, welcome to the channel. I am Clockwork and Noodles. This is the Noodle Bowl and we break down anime on a weekly basis. It's fantastic to see you and hopefully you will become a noodling just like one of us. Let's get straight to it, because all of this season I've been digging at the lack of security and we finally get to see where the money has gone, and it's on this high security gate. It seems to be maybe special occasions that really they drag it all out, which does make me think they're skimping in the sense they've been skimping on safety. But it does also seem to be a different part of the school. So to be fair, they've got an inner sanctum type thing where not everybody can get in. At the same time, do you expect me to believe that that idiot Daybreak somehow got through, didn't cause any issues? Because I know you might be skimping. You definitely have the funds to have a proper security system going on. And all the way through this has been the Hogwarts of anime world where there's no security, it's poor, and sometimes I'm laughing at the lack of security. Lloyd is good at what he does, but you've then got people like Daybreak waltzing in and getting away with it. Lloyd does give us a scary statistic, however, that if he wanted to, he could do the impossible and get in, but only if it was an assassination attempt. If he had to take his life, he could do it. That would be it. There'd be no returning. He'd basically blow all of those bonds he's built out of the water. The only way he's really getting in if he's going to kill him. Obviously, that's not the point. We don't want to kill him because he's very important, and killing him is probably going to result in a war. The worst comes to worst, could get in there, but it wouldn't be a pleasant trip for anybody. It is the first time, I believe, we get to hear Demetrius. Interesting voice. I thought the voice was familiar. Couldn't put a finger on it though, but we do get another look at a relationship between these guys. It's very cold. There's no spare words used. They basically do, hi, is he going? Yep, okay, bye. There's no pleasantries between the two. From that conversation, if I was just to play it to you guys, you wouldn't guess that the relationship was brother. It would probably be low on your list of guessing. You'd be like, oh, maybe they're acquaintances, maybe they're colleagues or something. It's devoid of any love or characteristics of brothers being in that conversation. It does, however, create the sliver of chance to get Desmond away from the high security gates. Chance of trying to get him out, to get Lloyd to bump into him and give him the accidental gap he needs to talk to Desmond, all because of Damien's. But what we do get again from this conversation, Damien is feeling unworthy. I've mentioned it a few times that Damien is still just a child, love him or hate him. He is a sport brat, but he's still a child who doesn't feel worthy of his dad's love. And you get to see the man himself this week, guys. You can make your own opinions on the father in question. He's very nervous to talk to his dad. It's very difficult for him to open up, and obviously thanks to Lloyd pushing and being there, the conversation goes further than I think it would. I think if Lloyd hadn't been there, Damien would have clammed up and said nothing to his dad whatsoever. Also, a nice reminder that these are still young kids. I am so scared, I think I'm going to wet myself. Damien's goons. These guys are just kids. Wetting myself is probably a extreme fear situation, so these kids are still in the I'm going to pee myself situation. Bit of a nervous pee, who doesn't, right? I do like Anya's interference this week, even though she doesn't know what she's doing. She uses the knowledge that Damien only got a 50 on his test. Still seems high, but then obviously there's a 2-year age gap between the two. Anya uses this to try and spur him to continue to meet Desmond. She hears the voice of Lloyd in the buildings. At least she's opening a gap to get Lloyd to meet the man in question. Remember that these are just kids, and Anya does actually state that I don't even know if Lloyd loves me. team. I mean, I'm scared as well. This is nice because she's trying to obviously relate to Damien, but like, yeah, I'm also scared. You're scared. Scary truth when it comes to Anya, because Anya doesn't know if Lloyd loves her, and I don't think he does. And this is difficult because I love Lloyd to pieces, but I still don't think he loves Anya. I think he cares, but I don't think he loves her. I think that Anya's never really going to have that Damien does have. Damien has a paternal parent that maybe loves him. He's a very difficult man to even call. Maybe even that case that Anya can also relate to Damien in that sense. I think the point is that we sometimes forget how we appear, how we come across. You might think that you care about somebody, but sometimes it's very easy to forget to actually show that person that you do care, or you might think you're doing it, but you're actually not coming across loving, or you're coming across as cold. And I think that's a nice little wake-up call that Anya gives us this week with this conversation. She knows that her relationship with everything is just fake. I think it is a real fear when she states that I don't know if anyone loves me, and it's quite a brief conversation, but I think it's a very important conversation that we need to be remembering with Anya. How much trauma this poor kid's gonna need if Lloyd does just leave. I really hope in the case of World Peace that we get World Peace, at least leave Anya with Yor. I want to be the point that at least if Lloyd has to go away, at least give Anya one parent. Something out of the World Peace. Fact that she's giving up her childhood, but at least give her one caring parent. Lloyd using the keychain as a way to talk to Damien is very, very clever. Oh, my kid has forgotten this. I've gone to go find it. It does allow him to finally make his grand appearance, because I don't think up until this point many people have seen him. He was at the open day, and I think Damien was all on his own, but it's the first time I think Damien's really stood and gone, oh, okay, you're Anya's dad. Hello, it's nice to meet you. It's very nice to also see the way that Damien acts around Lloyd. Sure, there's moments when he's speaking out like out of terms as a brat, but that's because he's from a prestigious family. But he does also show respect to Lloyd, which is quite nice. He doesn't snap at Lloyd or anything. In regards to Lloyd being an older person, I should show respect anyway. It's there. I like it. The whole act as well, where he throws Anya under the bus, which is sad, but I get it. Going OTT to apologise to Damien, and that also allows him to open up, him getting serious. And this is a very serious face. As soon as I saw that face of Lloyd looking up and then seeing Desmond, you know stuff's going down without stuff going down. The entire point of Spy X Family is literally this episode. And it's been a while since we've seen how serious Lloyd can really get, but this face, you're not messing with this face. Use Anya's bad behaviour. It's also quite sad throwing her under the bus a little bit. Guess in the sense of world peace, you can't really mess around. It's time to break the ice. What we're here for, we're here face to face with the target. This is it. This is the point of Spy X Family, to get Desmond on side to talk to Lloyd. And this is it. This is the man at the centre of Operation Strix. My opinion initially comes across as too pushy, too strong, and it did get a little uncomfortable. If I suddenly had somebody like this, I also would be on edge. Remember that Desmond is a private man. This is one thing we do know about him. Obviously, we don't know a great deal about the guy, what makes a guy tick. We don't know. Who is Desmond? We still don't quite know. We've got a few inklings. We do know that Desmond apparently had enough of public life. He withdrew. He suddenly stopped all these writings that Lloyd apparently had been studying, and then he withdrew. So we know he's a private man. You've already apologised. He even said, you've apologised. It's amongst kids. He doesn't want to push it any further. Why would he then want to invite someone he doesn't really know into his own home? A very private man isn't going to be up for this. So you can see why he doesn't want to pursue it any further. I accept your apology. We're done. It did feel a little bit Lloyd was pushing too far, but I get it, because obviously he's desperate. This is the man at the heart of everything. This man, the way that he acts, could lead to the loss of a lot of lives, a lot of innocent lives. He is scary. He is a very scary man. He does remind me of a Tim Burton character, the way that he's got the deep set eyes. They look hollow. He really looks like a Tim Burton character, but he is scary. He doesn't even use any words. It's enough to silence Damien's anger. Damien's getting angry over the whole, oh, she smacked me. He looks at Desmond's face and he's not even doing anything. He's blowing out smoke out of his nose. That's it. Damien just quietens down. That's the kind of man that we're dealing with. Probably disciplines his son in a way. I can probably maybe make that link. We also get some information that Desmond is a man who believes that there's never going to be a mutual understanding between people. He's a man who believes in violence. He's a man who stands between the brink of a war. That's what we get with the interactions with Lloyd. Lloyd telling us this is the man who does want to make others submit via force. He's a bit of a warmonger. He's got a violent heart. Lloyd, I think, is perhaps too soft to ever be a friend of a man like Desmond. However, the point is, the way that Lloyd now comes across about the understanding of his daughter is to try making a mark on Desmond, to start maybe not exactly make him go, this is actually the way you should be thinking. It's more, this is my opinion, but your opinion is interesting. It's just at least getting the opinion on the table. I hope that through learning and creating opportunities to understand my daughter, we might have the ability to talk and eventually understand each other. Lloyd is coming from an aspect of, I don't want war. We should be able to talk. A very big difference between these two characters as a whole, and I love the fact that the anime is trying to draw it in this conversation with, this is my daughter, that's your son. We're talking war, but we're also not. We're talking families. We're talking about how we raise kids, and you can see the difference with Desmond barely even wanting to understand his son. Lloyd is trying to get there and say, look, I want to understand my child. I believe that through talking we can do this. He's not trying to push his opinion at this point onto him. He's just getting it there in the open, so that softer idea there on the table. I love the fact that Lloyd comforts Damien as well. It's an act, sure, but it's also nice seeing the fact that he's on Damien's side, because right now Damien feels alone and he's sad because his dad doesn't seem to care that he got hit. He does state, well, you don't care about me, and obviously he goes quiet because he's too scared to say anything. It's nice to see Lloyd comforting the child. Obviously he does play on the whole fake, oh, my daughter was so moved, Damien's report was amazing, it made me want to talk to you, and he does play it up obviously for his own needs. It must also feel nice to Damien to suddenly go, actually, my report made an impact. Obviously it's fake and Anya didn't say any of it. It alludes to the idea that somebody actually listened to Damien, something that I don't think he probably gets in his home life. It also allows this conversation with Desmond, for Desmond to go, oh, I didn't hear this talk. It's all about keeping that person talking. Small little tiny bits, but it's another conversation, another voice line from Desmond. Desmond going, oh no, I didn't hear this talk. Therefore, you may keep talking. And then suddenly I'm interested in your party. It's all just small talk, and it's very clever ways of breaking the ice. There's a book, I think it's called How to Make Friends and Influence People. It does feel like this is straight out of those pages. All he's trying to do is try talking about Desmond. I think one of the big key things about talking, getting that person to start talking is one of those key aspects. If you get someone to start talking, it kind of made a huge win, because that person's suddenly talking about themselves. They feel comfortable. They think you're interested. The person is interested in what I do. Therefore, I want to talk. There's a lot of this going on, and I know it's very difficult at times with Spy X Family. A lot of the episodes don't achieve a great deal because they've got this more laid-back nature. Something I want to talk about at the end in the scoring anyway, because I don't have too much to say now on my list. Getting Damien to talk and also treat Anya as a friend. I like this. Daddy's helping nudge to try and get their relationship into a better place, because we know the relationship between Anya and Damien, it's bad. It's pretty bad. This little nudge is going to really help, and I like it because obviously now Damien's going to see Anya not as just a crush, but as somebody who apparently listened to his talk and was moved to tears. I love the fact that Damien does actually receive praise in the end, because he's like, oh, I did this, I got a star, they've got this award. And he does it because he draws on how brave Anya is in her talk. So even though she didn't really understand what she was talking about, and quite quickly she's like, wait, what was I talking about? It strikes a chord with Damien, and I like this. It ends up going quite well. So what do we actually achieve right now? We get a starting point with Lloyd. Lloyd has broken the ice. Desmond now knows Lloyd's name. Lloyd has also decided that he wants to help Damien improve his relationships with his dad, because it helps with Operation Strix. This is good for Damien, because Damien is still a child who wants to have a relationship with his father. So this is fantastic in that sense as well. Lloyd's mission has now barely started, but we've finally taken the most important step on season 1's journey. We've now met the man in question. So let's talk about the thing I was talking about and scoring, and what I'm giving it out of 10. Really difficult anime to score, because sometimes we'll have very quiet episodes where it feels like the pace isn't doing much. Now, there's nothing wrong with an anime which takes a quieter pace. The problem is we're surrounded by anime like Chainsaw Man, which is revving it up very quickly to build to a lot of action. A lot happens in those episodes. I think with something like Spy X Family, still doing great. If you actually look on Mal, it's 8.5. Okay, 8.5. Now, it has slid a little bit from the first half. Big brain coming right through. 8.7, 8.5, so let's find the middle ground. First season, Spy X Family, 8.6. That is a solid score. Obviously, I'm basing it on Mal. That is a solid score. Now, it's not a bad anime, and I get that people don't mention it a lot. It's been on top 10s this season, but it's been low. I think the highest it's been is about a 4. But the issue is, it's airing amongst a lot of very fast-paced animes. I think it's very easy to overlook an anime like Spy X Family for not doing anything, or sometimes the episodes feel like they're wavering. You get this whole middle arc of the tennis arc, and it does sometimes feel like we're not really achieving anything. The point is, this is supposed to be a drawn-out anime. I don't want them to just, here's the story, throw it out, get it done too quick, or push the pacing where it doesn't feel like it needs to go. This is an anime that deals with relationships, how people interact. It deals with family. It deals with war. It's dealing with politics. And politics are slow-moving. Something when it comes to politics. And I would actually say, if you want a recommendation, if you are interested in Spy X Family, but you're interested more in the politics and Cold War aspect, please check out ACCA 13. ACCA 13. Beautiful anime that just doesn't get enough love, but it does the political game on point. Absolutely on point. And it's also got Kenjiro Suda in it. I love that guy. You guys know how much I love that man. It's a really good anime, and I want to recommend it with the Spy X Family kind of thing. I gave Spy X Family 8.5 out of 10. I gave it basically Mal's score because it's not a bad anime. Yes, there's moments when it's quiet. I don't want to say much. It's not like anime of the week or anything, but it's consistently giving me what I need, making me feel like I belong in Berlin. It's making me understand there's a political hotbed going on. It makes me know that there's big names going on. There's people pushing for war. The whole beginning bit of this season, it's just difficult to think because it happened 12 episodes ago. We had that threat. I don't want to say the T word on YouTube because I'll probably get flagged, but we had that big old threat and the guy was using dogs. A very big high octane open. Obviously it gets quiet again because we've got to deal with like family nature and all these types of things, and we do need to be building these relationships with Anya and Becky and all these things because they're important to the plot. It's an anime that gives its side characters life. It does bug me where a side character is nothing more than just a side character. To me, Spy X Family is a very strong, solid anime. I get enjoyment from it. There are times when it's a meh week. It's still a good episode. It's just, it hasn't given me any action. But that is also important. Understanding how to give a slower episode is still important because some animes don't do that very well and they turn into meh, middle of the road slice of life. And I'm the slice of life queen. I love slice of life. But there's a lot of animes that just don't do it very well. And if you want another anime which does nothing very, very well, is Non Non Biyuri. If you go into that anime, some episodes, nothing happens, but the way that they've done it, the way that the characters interact, fantastic. I think there's like one episode where the girl just learns how to say something. It's all about young kids. Nothing happens, but it's a very good anime about nothing. I love this anime. I think it's fantastic, and I've obviously cosplayed from it, so I think the anime really has left a mark on me. I can't wait to see it in the cinema. I am so excited. I really can't wait to go to that. I can't wait to see the characters return. The fact that it's getting a musical in Japan, I know a lot of stuff gets musicals over there, but it means that it's made a mark. I think Spy X Family, in its own little way, has done a very good job of staying relevant, even though there's big animes like Bleach airing or Mob Psycho 100, and fantastic work for Mob Psycho 100, finally knocking Bleach off top number 1 for 1 week. I know it's only 1 week. The last week Mob Psycho wins because again, a lot of animes this season are finishing, so Mob's gone. My Hero Academia hasn't got very far to go either. That's another anime that's done very well. It's been a fantastic season, basically what I want to say. I enjoyed this anime. Thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. I really do hope that you do return to the channel for season 2, whenever that may end. Maybe I'll do a breakdown on the movie as well, my thoughts and that kind of thing. But thank you so much. It really has meant a lot to me. I really hope you've enjoyed listening to my thoughts and opinions. I hope to see you in that end of season top 3 anime list. Thank you guys so much. Have a happy Christmas. And if I don't see you before then, make sure you're looking after yourselves before the new year. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.